Alrighty. Test 1, 2. Let's see if this works yet again. Well, here we are. What is this brand today? What is this? Aha, sparkling water, orange grapefruit. I don't care. It's water, it's got bubbles in it. That's not what we're here for. Got a fancy little ditty here. Whoop. All right, I'm gonna smoke a marijuana cigarette, a joint, as they call it. And then I'm going to talk about my romantic relationships. All the way from first grade to marriage, baby. How it all happened. How this Casanova made it work. Talk about the good, talk about the bad. Then you have facts of life. Why waste our time? Let's get into it. Talking about relationships. Romantic. Try to go through this fast. Nobody wants to spend too much time on this. Well, we gotta know how we got here. So, the first girl I ever felt interested in was in first grade. I remember coming home and writing a love letter, and it said, "Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and you are cute too." Now, I originally put sugar is sweet and I love you, but in all of my first grade wisdom, I had decided, well, I am much too young to be in love with anybody, so I'm just gonna put you're cute. Maybe this was the thing that hampered me when I handed the letter to her and she read it, and then she was just quiet. And then I said, "Did you read my letter?" "Yep." "So what'd you think?" "Thank you." So from that point, I basically swore off women. That one rejection, man, it'll just send you straight downhill. It was like my first time I've ever put myself out there, and it was just immediate rejection. I think maybe the universe could have gave me just a little bit something. First grade though, you get your heart broken early, and you get used to it. If girls liked me, then I searched my own self and was like, do I like them? I don't know, let's see. That's like triggered me to look inside and see if I like them. Probably not the best way to go about a relationship, and we'll find that out later on. Let's try and blast through this one. Why not? Seventh grade. I show up. I had an 8th grade girl tell me she thought I was cute. So, yeah. The first girlfriend that I got, I think, was the end of 7th grade. It was basically just hand holding and hugging, like, good to see you, have a good day, good morning, good afternoon. That's what it was. We did finally kiss, and it was like that. And there was like, that was it. That's the extent of the relationship. We didn't really talk on the phone. It was me, it was my fault. I didn't talk on the phone. I never even liked talking on the phone. I just liked the idea of having a girlfriend. I didn't know how to have a girlfriend, which who does at that age anyway? That one did not last at all. I can't even remember how long it lasted. It feels imprinted because it was a tentpole moment of having my very first girlfriend, but it also was very fleeting because I didn't know how to be in a relationship. My biggest thing, of course, at that time was probably just not communicating, not liking to communicate, and being so unsure of myself. It's like, how do you talk? What do you talk about? How do you even, I don't know how. What's people? And then after that point, I went another good stint, probably. I want to say though, it wasn't for lack of trying, because I definitely was trying to like get a girlfriend somewhere, you know. I think I had several friends kind of laugh at me. I was like, maybe you and me? No? Oh, okay, well. Until my junior year of high school, this was after I started going to church. Go check out my last video. But there was a church dance, and I saw this girl. My friend had brought this girl, and I was like, she's really cute. And then my other friend with me too, he was like, she's really cute. And I was like, I know, right? And then our friend said, this is my friend, I don't want you to date her. To which I replied, what the fuck business is that of yours? So, softer than that. I wasn't that mean about it, but at the same time, who are you to tell me who I can and cannot date? And then we dated for, I wanna say like a month, you know, and in that time we also went to camp and we got very close and touched my first boob. She called me, we'd hung up and she said, okay, I love you, bye. And I said, okay, bye. And then we hung up. And then I was like, did she say I love you? Again, this is first grade me going, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit here. Love this guy right now in this. I'm not established. I don't even know what a 401k is. And I don't think this was a fear of commitment either. It wasn't like, oh, I'm afraid to say I love you. No, like I could say I love you, but it was, I'm in high school. That to me, it seems like a big commitment to say I love you to somebody, as it probably should. Shit. So pretty soon after that, I did a pretty cowardly thing. And I called her on the phone and I said, hey, I don't think we should date anymore. I said something about like our age difference, which I mean was like a year or two. Wasn't that big a deal. It was really that I was scared that she said, I love you so quickly, and I didn't feel that I was ready to be in that kind of relationship. I obviously wasn't able to communicate that to her, which I should have been able to. I apologize for that. I really should have been better about that. But I mean, again, I was a kid. I didn't know really how to navigate friendships, let alone romantic relationships. I remember being in a play in high school. I'd met this girl there. I waited the whole run of the play because I was starting to like her. We had some scenes together and I was thinking like, hey, this might be something. We're enjoying each other's company, who knows, whatever else. We ended up going to a dance together and I was like, this girl seems like she's kind of into me. So like maybe I'm gonna like pursue something, but I don't want to mess up our play. So I'm gonna wait until closing night. So I waited and it came to closing night. And afterwards I walked her out to her car. I was like, hey, look, I had a lot of fun being in this play with you. We went to that dance. I was thinking maybe you'd like to go out with me sometime. And she said, I like you, but I also like someone else. So I want to kind of try with that. Cool, cool. All right, bye. She was very mature about that. I cannot blame her for that. I was a little devastated, pissed off, feel like I wasted my time waiting that long for anything. Now I can see like, it was silly. Like none of that really mattered that much. But at the time, it was so important. Just as intense as any intimate relationship you would have at any stage in life. It's just we lack the emotional capacity or the emotional resources to deal with that relationship in the most mature or the most healthy way, or even grow with that person in the best way possible. After high school, I got into my first serious relationship that lasted like 2 years. I think because of who I was, it wasn't chaotic enough for me. I know this now because of my certain attachment issues and attachment style. People with anxious attachment tend to elevate relationships in their mind, and then when they don't meet those heightened levels of expectation, they lose interest in them and they become bored. And then after they leave the relationship, they think about how great that relationship was. And there's this endless cycle of constantly getting into relationships and then feeling like it's not working and then leaving and then romanticizing it. I didn't know any of that stuff. All I knew is not how to navigate relationships. And we ended it because there weren't these low lows and these high highs that like I had grown to expect with relationships, which is unhealthy. So because that didn't exist, much like most things, it didn't maintain my attention. But then I got into a relationship that did maintain my attention far too much. And it was tumultuous. The kind of relationship where you argue in front of friends. They're watching from inside the garage. She's driving her car, stopping her car, you're getting out. You guys are arguing, she gets back in the car, starts to drive off, you stop her from going and she opens the door, you get in, then she gets out and then she gets back in and then you drive off together. No? No? Is that just me? It was too chaotic. It was very stimulating to my ADHD brain, and our mental disorders both bounced off of each other in very exciting ways, but they also clashed in a lot of ways. We were too much of the same. We fought way too much for that age and that young of a relationship. We broke up because I presented her a letter, not very formal of me, and I sat there while she read it. She was not happy, and that was it. That was the end of that. All of my past relationships are all in fantastic relationships themselves, it seems. I've got no animosity towards anybody whom I have dated romantically in the past at all. You know, I don't judge people now for the people they were then. If they were to hurt me or if I was to hurt them, I'm sure we have all moved on. So there's no need to avoid each other in public. We're all just people. We're living our lives, and we all seem to be living them well. That's all we could ask, right? So that brings me to living well. And living well means living with my wife. This woman. We're at the main event here, people. We're gonna talk about how we met, talk about getting this lady to go on a date with me, and I'm gonna talk about marrying this woman.
3, 4.
Why is my wallet sitting here? That's how big it is. You know that stay-at-home dad money, baby. Oh, boys. My wife. I'm not gonna do it. My wife. I was working at a church at the time, and I was on MySpace. That's right. I received a message from this girl, Cool Cat Kimber, who is in Ontario at a church, who is part of a youth group who wanted to talk to other youth leaders in the area about the types of things they were doing as a youth group. So we messaged back and forth a few times about churches, about music, about food, and that was it. She kind of just disappeared, I disappeared. I didn't really look that much into it. Nobody was meeting online. That was not something I had intended to do. It was happenstance. A few months later, I'm at work on the computer, probably doing a PowerPoint for the Sunday service, and up on my AOL Instant Messenger app pops a message from Cool Cat Kimber. Hi, do you remember me? Nope. Oh, this is me from MySpace. I just saw your AOL Instant Messenger handle, so I decided to see if you were on. So I checked out the link she sent me to her MySpace page. She was very cute. Yeah, I do remember you. What's up? We just started messaging each other whenever we were at work at the same time. And this went on for months. It was kind of weird because nobody was meeting anybody online at that time. It was almost like it gave us the freedom to just talk about whatever because it was almost anonymous, but there was also an attraction there. My wife will tell you at this time too, she recognized that there was an attraction, but she also thought, I'm not gonna meet somebody off the internet. As, you know, yeah, she shouldn't have, for sure. But you know, this happens. So after messaging back and forth for a few months, I messaged her, hey, I gotta go home, but can I get your phone number? Maybe I can call you sometime. And she said, sure. I got her phone number. I remember going straight home, jumping into my bed, getting on the phone, calling her, and I think we talked for like 3 or 4 hours that night. It was fantastic. There was no expectation, so we both had this freedom to kind of just communicate, and she somehow just liked listening to me talk, and I love to talk. And she seemed to like me, and I really liked her, and we just started growing closer and becoming friends. You know, we just started enjoying each other's company while being on the phone for months. I think she says that I may have asked her out that same night. That tracks. I think I did ask her out that same night. As soon as I got her phone number, I was like, all right, I got your phone number, what's up? You wanna go on a date or something? And she said no. There's a theme throughout this. She says things like, I'm busy, my sister just got pregnant, so I'm going to be, you know, helping her out. Yeah, of course, absolutely, no problem. You know, let's just talk, we'll text, The whole time I'm telling my friends about this girl that I really like, and she seems to really like me, and they're like, dude, she doesn't like you. If she liked you, she would meet you by now. So take the hint, move on. I'm like, dude, you don't get it, man. She likes me. I promise you she likes me. I keep calling. She keeps saying, oh yeah, I can't because my sister's in her first trimester. Oh no, I can't because she's in her third trimester. Oh, I can't because she's just about to have the baby. Cool. Yeah, I get it. Thinking like, man, whenever we talk, she digs me. She likes me. I know it. I can feel it. But then every time I'm like, let's just meet. I'm cool. I'm fine. Talk to anybody. I am so insecure that I'm not pushing any boundaries here. There was nothing I could say to convince her to go out with me. The weekend before Valentine's Day, 2000, and it's been a while. I'll look it up. By look it up, I mean ask my wife. I give her a call. Hey, what's up? What's going on? What are you up to this weekend? I'm going to help my sister. You know, she just had the baby, so I'm gonna go over there and help her. Cool. No problem. Right on. Cool, sweet. I'll just give you a call. You know, we'll just talk, chat. No big deal. Love holiday coming up, but whatever. You know, stupid. Why we would do that? Weekend came, I was hanging out with some friends. They were telling me again how, you know, this girl doesn't like you. She would have hung out with you already. And I called her and I was like, hey, what's up? Just want to talk to you, see how you're doing, see what are you up to, you know? Oh, nothing, you know, I'm just hanging out at my friend's house. Oh, cool, I thought you said you were going to be helping out with your sister. Oh, yeah, well, she ended up like not needing my help because, you know, so-and-so helped her and okay, cool. All right, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye. And at that point, I was done. This broad obviously is not into me, right? Is broad sexist? Another topic. I should just move on, right? Like, I shouldn't just keep pining after this woman if she's not wanting to go out on dates with me. So, she hates that I tell this story because she thinks that I'm still bitter. I'm not bitter. I just know how I felt then. How anyone would feel. Not bitter. Clearly not. That Monday, which was the Monday before Valentine's Day, if you've been paying attention, I get a phone call from this woman. She says, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night? Nothing? Do you want to hang out? Yeah. Sure. Okay. Pick me up around 7. It turns out that her brother-in-law at the time knew me. He had dated my cousin back in the day for like almost a decade, and he'd come to family functions and stuff. So he not only knew me, he knew me like a lot. I'd seen this guy like 3 or 4 times a year for like most of my life growing up. He could see that I wasn't an asshole for an extended period of time. At least not an asshole in like, you know, towards women and stuff. There's plenty of ways that I'm an asshole, but let's just... So she was talking to her sister, and he comes over and he says, what are you guys talking about? Oh, this guy, you know, we keep talking or whatever. I don't know if I want to meet him or not. Like, let me see a picture. That guy? I know him. That gave her the courage to go out with a stranger. I took her to Scandia. We went mini golfing and we went to the batting cages. She wore a very cute white sandals with a jean mini skirt, a red shirt with like a V-neck with an undershirt that was like white, and her hair is like platinum blonde. And then we went back to my apartment, hung out on the couch, watched Antonio Banderas, the 13th Warrior. What a shitty movie pick. I'm laying behind her on the couch. My arm is underneath her head. She turns towards me, and I look down at her, and we both close our eyes, and I lean in, and I closed my eyes too soon, so my lips went directly on her chin. A reasonable person would have backed up, maybe chuckled a little bit, and then kissed directly on the lips. My relationship deficient ass does this. I slide my lips up to her lips and continue to kiss her. Not a smooth operator, I'll tell you that. Never in any of my relationships have I been smooth. Clumsy, very much so. And that was our first kiss. It was nice after I got over kissing her chin. It was a nice chin. Maybe this will be the last little bit. Maybe this will be the last little bit. Just a tiny little bit here. The first time we said I love you. I had already said I love you in 2 previous relationships, and I didn't want to say it too fast. So I had even told myself, all right, I'm going into this relationship with this girl. I really like her. I don't want to mess it up by saying I love you too quickly. We were 6 weeks into the relationship. I was on a mission trip down in Tijuana. We were texting back and forth. And I don't remember what I said, but her response was, I freaking love you. Now, in my mind, we had just seen the movie Anchorman, and there's a scene in which Ron Burgundy says, I freaking love you, to Christina Applegate, who then responds, I freaking love you too! So I responded, Anchorman, ? And then she responded, oh, no, never mind. So I responded, oh, wait, I'm sorry, what? What are you saying? And then she sent back a very sweet message about how she did in fact love me. And I said, I love you too. Very interesting way to say I love you. I still blame her a little bit for that I freaking love you. Like, even now I'll ask her, like, what did you mean by that at the time? Like, did you intend to tell me I love you? Or was there some kind of like side thing to that? And I'm gonna ask her again, and then we'll see what her explanation is, and I'll just give her the foray in text. Probably enough time. At 6 months, I was starting to look for an engagement ring. I knew that I was gonna propose to her around Christmas time. And I said to my mom, Mom, I love this girl and I'm gonna marry her. I'm going to buy a wedding ring. And my mom said to me, Nicholas, you are going to ruin that girl's life. So I got a ring. A marriage proposal is something that should be a formality. You should know the answer, 100%. I knew the answer. We had talked about it. I was ready to be married. I was ready to have sex without feeling guilty. Go back to that church episode for a minute. The one thing that she said about the engagement though is like, I don't want to be proposed to in front of a lot of people. So I said, you got it. So I proposed to her in front of the church on Christmas Eve service. What an asshole. I wouldn't do that now. Be private now, like a little thing, you know, just her and I. Because I felt like, you know, even though she said that, like maybe she still wants a grand gesture. My wife, I realized now, no. I mean, now she wants grand gestures. Then, no, she didn't. It's complicated, man. You gotta grow together with your spouse to learn these things. That's what long-term relationships are about. I like it. It's good for you. Four months after we got engaged, we got married. 10 months later, we had our first child, 3 more children after that one, and now here we are with an almost 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 6-year-old, and a grandpa in the house. I gotta tell you, there's no secret about relationships. Loving someone is a choice. Being in love with somebody is choosing to love them in their good and their bad and grow with them. Because we got married so young, we had this opportunity to really grow and shape our lives together and really emphasize what growing as one really means. We kind of created this feedback loop of encouragement, of her encouraging me to do the things that I want to do while I was encouraging her to do the things that she wanted to do, and us adapting to the different ways that we wanted to live our life. All the corny, cheesy things in the world that people say, I could say about my wife and truly mean it. Now, raising kids together, that's a different damn story. All right, we'll get into that at some other point about how to not raise assholes. So here's a hint. Don't be one yourself. We're working on it. There's something to be said about knowing what you want and having an expectation of how people treat you. If you can solidify those two things, then you can trust yourself in relationships generally. It gets hard, but in therapy people say, like, generally people know the right answer. It's just a matter of whether or not you're willing to put in the work. That's it. And the work means not just tolerating, but also changing, adapting, becoming a different and better person to better fit with the person who is also changing and fitting and adapting to be with you. That is what a relationship is. You can't go into a relationship expecting to remain an individual. Say everything you want, but me and this woman's lives, we are tied together. Not just because of kids or because of a house or stuff, but because we have chosen to continue to be. And we continue to work toward those ends constantly. That's what it takes. Full 100% complete dedication and obligation to your partner. Can you handle that? Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you very much. Also, read books, people. Let's get some more reading going on, okay?
Think of a night, just whisper of smoke. You could lose everything. The truth is you'll never know. So I kiss you long, baby. Any chance that I get, I'll make